Music used to be very scarce. You had to go to the shop, you had to find that exclusive mixtape, you even had to get that vinyl from the shop. You know, from all the younger people, this is a vinyl, it's like a big CD. And there were only like a couple of copies from these. So if you didn't had one, if the shop didn't had this in store, you were kind of screwed and you weren't able to play that song as a DJ. Now, all of that changed when streaming came into the world. And now we're in this point in time where music is completely devalued in value. Because, let's be honest, most people don't really care about your music anymore. They care about your content. And how did that happen? You know, like, why do people stop caring about your music? Because you're an artist. They should care about your music. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'll share you a bit more about my philosophy and why I think where we are in the music industry right now and why we are here and what you can do as an artist to kind of, protect yourself from all this in the future. So let's get started at the beginning. As I said, I think it's important to go back to the beginning of the music where everything used to be scarce. We started this whole thing with a product that was very scarce, which means not everyone was able to get it. And in life, that helps because everything in life that is scarce is high in value. Think about gold, think about silver, think about housing, think about all the things you can't necessarily print. That makes it scarce, and that's what we people value. That's why gold is so expensive, that's why houses are expensive. That's what we value as people. So back in the days when there was only like, let's say 1,000 copies of a certain vinyl or 100,000 from big hits, if you didn't possess one, you were screwed. And maybe your best friend had it, but you can only listen to that song at your best friend's place. And that's why you valued it even more, because you didn't have access to it all the time. It was very exclusive. Now, during the time, the music industry changed, the world has changed, and now we're here in this period of time with streaming. And streaming is one of the best things that happened to us because, let's be honest, it's nice to have all the music on the planet at your fingertips available throughout the day. While at the same time, it sucks because no artist is making any money from it. It's very hard to get noticed within that world where hundreds of thousands of songs get uploaded on Spotify every day. Now with AI on the verge, like I believe about like half of the songs on Spotify already is AI that is being uploaded. It's getting crazier and crazier and harder to stand out as an artist. And to be honest, that's what I notice in the coaching sessions as well. Most of my clients really struggle to get noticed as an artist. Like, their music doesn't get picked up, it's hard to get streams, it's hard to get supported by DJs, it's hard to get content out and to stand out as an artist. And I think that's also the reason why content has become so much more important over the past, because when music devalued, people started looking for something else that they did value. And what was the one thing that remained to be scarce that you could offer as an artist? It is your personality. That is the one thing that is still very scarce and uncopyable because there's only one version of you, right? There's not multiple, it's just you. And I think that's why people started valuing content more and more, because they're following a person that is authentic, that is real. There's only one of that person. And your music, there's tons of music out there that kind of sounds similar, so why would I care? I think that is the reason why we ended up where we are right now in this industry. Music lost its scarcity. Content has become much more important because your authentic self is kind of the one thing that still remains to be scarce, and that's why people start caring about it more and more. Now, what can you do as an artist to protect yourself from all of this in the future? Because if this is the game and you kind of have to become an influencer to make a living from music, is that really what you want? I have good news for those people, because I truly believe that the scarcity thing, the exclusive part of music, is coming back. And when I say that, I mean that I believe that music itself starts to become important again. And you can already see that happening actually if you look at vinyl sales. Like these big black old discs that nobody can play in their living room, they're actually up in sales for the last few years. Now, why do you think that happens? Me personally, I listen to vinyl as well at home, and if I play a vinyl, it feels like a very conscious moment where I choose to play that certain song and actually listen to it, which is completely different from the Spotify experience, because Spotify, let's be honest, is just something that turns on music on the background while I work, while I'll do my workout, while I'm in the car, and it's nice, but I'm not consciously listening to that certain song. This is something I put on consciously, and I'm listening to that song consciously. Now that is different, and I think that's why people start spending more money on vinyl, because they want to value the product. They want to value the time that the artist has spent to make this piece of art, because that's essentially what it is. I even saw Calvin Harris last week also promoting his vinyl from his latest single, and there's more and more coming up. So that's an interesting thing. So I think exclusivity and scarcity is coming back. Now, what does that mean for you as an artist? It means that you have to make your music exclusive and scarce again. Now, I'm not saying take all your music off Spotify, because I don't think that's a good idea, because your music still gets discovered every now and then on there, and you should be on there. But I do think it's important and smart to add an extra exclusive layer to what you're doing as an artist, and maybe start producing vinyls, or maybe release some edits, release some remixes, release some unreleased originals within the community that you're building. So giving back to the people that actually care about you, and giving back to them by giving them exclusive music that simply is not available on Spotify. It's only available in your community as a Dropbox link or as a download, whatever. But it's only available there. Like, exclusive things make people care about your product and make them value the product more and more. So adding a certain layer to your releases, and releasing songs that don't get on Spotify, for example, or there's only like, 50 pieces available. Things like that, I think, is going to be the future. Now, that also implies, and I've talked about this more and more, building a community as an artist is so important, right? We all have been focusing on creating content and building followers, but you want to go deeper with those audiences. They are looking for real connections with you as the artist. And whether you do this on socials or whether you do this on Discord or with an email list, I don't care, but you should be in direct contact with your audience and be open and show your authentic self. That is the reason why people come to you and why people connect to you. Now, if they're in your community, that's where you can start giving them value back in forms of exclusive music or listening sessions or production sessions or live streams or whatever you want to do. But that's why I think is a smart thing to do as an artist. You also heard me saying live streams. I also think that that's the next move when it comes to content, because live streaming is the most authentic form of content that you can make right now. It's real, it's in the moment, you can interact with people, it's amazing. So if you're not doing it yet, start doing it now. Just as anyone else, I'm not sure how the future will look, but I do think there's a certain trend going on where we go back to scarcity, where we go back to the exclusive part of music. And to be honest, I'm a big fan of that. You know, the era where I started as a DJ and music producer, music was still scarce and I was not able to find every song that I wanted. I actually had to dig through blogs and needed to know a lot of people in order to get certain songs. And to me, that was the whole fun of things. When music became available, I don't know, like that fun kind of got dragged out to me. And to be honest, I'm missing it. It would be fun to bring back the whole scarcity thing. Like I always compare it with Pokemon cards, for example. I'm not sure if you're old enough, but if you ever collected Pokemon cards or football cards or flippos, you always traded those flippos and those cards with people, right? Because you wanted to get a certain card and that person had the card and you wanted to trade it with that person for another card which is just as valuable as the one you wanted. And that's how it went with music as well. You started trading music with each other. It's a super fun way to think about music. But I think that era is coming back. Like promos, unreleased songs, exclusive edits, all that stuff, it's coming back. So don't worry about AI. It's not going to take your job. Yes, it's going to change the industry, but I think it's going to make the music industry actually much more fun for you as an artist, because it's going back to exclusivity and scarcity. Now that also means that you as an artist have to spend more time on your music, as in the quality of your music. Over the past, we've been focusing on quantity, feeding the algorithms, more music, one release a month, and on and on and on. I think right now is the right time to kind of hit the brakes and say, okay, I'm not going to win the quantity game because AI is going to kill you in terms of quantity, but you can win the quality game and the authenticity game. So I think it's also a smart move as an artist to spend more time on your music, spend more time on the finishing touches, spend more time on the creativity of your song. Make it authentic, make it different. That's where you can win in the future. It's better to release 4 tracks a year that stand out and that are different and that are highly produced than 12 songs which are okay. Because the okay kind of genre, that's where AI will be, and that's where you're not going to win. You're going to win in the quality and like the, wow, this is something different category. That's all I have for you. That's my vision. That's my philosophy for the future. For you as an artist, I actually call it the boring artist philosophy. There's a manifesto on our website if you want to read it. I'll make sure to link it in the show notes as well. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to check out all our content and the website if you're interested in what we're doing, or if you'd like to work together, just let me know. And thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.